am dull eyes, dull mouth, dull legs. I am dull arms, big veins, dull brain. Yeah, they really want you, they really want you, they really do. Yeah,
Welcome to CINEMATICON Ex Mortis, the horror movie discussion podcast hosted by...
Did you forget your line?
No, I thought you would say it first.
Oh, I'm Heather.
And Kenny. Wow, I think that's the most botched that's ever been.
Was it though? I mean, I'm low-key obsessed with it.
And April Fools to everyone. We April Fools'd you. You are April Fools.
Yeah.
Because last time you thought that we thought that Troll 2 is like a classic horror movie, but no.
Yeah, I'm sure they were all just totally buying it.
Yeah. Can you not click over there so much?
No,
I can like hear it.
I don't know what to tell you.
Speaking of clicking, all of our listeners should click on Twitter and see us at Cinematicon Pod. But I'm not sure I should be saying this. I feel like there's something weird and paradoxical about me telling our listeners to go on Twitter, because we have currently over 500 followers on Twitter and we have about 20 listeners. So it seems like we should be telling our Twitter followers to listen to the podcast and not vice versa.
Well, maybe we should be doing both.
Yeah, let's just yell at everyone all the time. But definitely, if you're listening to this, you may want to check out our Twitter, because in addition to the spicy memes that Heather likes to post and that do get people responding to them and sharing them and hearting them and whatever, I'm also posting some stuff recently on Twitter that's like really cool, according to me, but that no one is commenting on or responding to or sharing. So you should go and do that. Recently I've started doing what I call the horror Oscars, where I go through each year. I'm going backwards from the current year, and I'm nominating 5 horror movies from that year for Best Horror Picture of the Year. And if people wanted to comment who they think should win, then that would be cool. But
What
even
bit
if
are
you
you
don't, you
doing
can just
right
look
now?
at it. What do you mean, what bit?
What is this that you're doing?
I'm trying to promote our brand or whatever. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Got it. All right.
I'm
Everybody, get on
flying
Twitter.
blind here, Heather. I don't know what I'm doing.
I can kind of see that. I just need to know what you're trying to do, and I can help you. But, so yeah, go on
I'm
Twitter.
trying to get people to go on Twitter.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're on Twitter at Cinematicon Pod. It's a little brown logo. It's the Necronomicon cover logo thing.
And that's Remy, Heather's dog. He's also encouraging you to go click on Twitter.
Mm-hmm. He doesn't have thumbs, but if he did, he'd be on Twitter too.
Right. So I guess we should get into today's topic.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. The
What?
fucking recording level. For the listeners, here's a little sneak peek into the backstage process. I keep trying to set the record level down lower because I can see that I'm like clipping or something, and it just it just jumps right back up even though I don't have automatic level control turned on. So apologies to our listeners if the audio quality is shit. Now it's all the way up to max. My God. A poltergeist has got into my recording software. That's all I can suppose.
You think that's a joke?
Okay. So today we're looking at a motion picture called Jennifer's Body from 2009. It was directed by Karen Kusama. It was written by Diablo Cody, and it stars Amanda Seyfried. Oh fuck, did I fuck that up? I specifically looked up a video to make sure I knew how to pronounce her name, but it's been so long.
That's how I pronounce it.
I actually think it's Seyfried. I think it's Seyfried, actually. Amanda Seyfried.
Seyfried? Oh.
I think so. Yeah, right. In the video that I watched where she talks about it, she says her brother actually pronounces it differently from her. So I feel like if she and her siblings can't even agree, then we can be forgiven. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so it stars her and Megan Fox and features a musical score by Stephen Barton and Theodore Shapiro. So spoiler alert for this movie. Do you want to do the plot summary?
Yes. Okay.
Do it.
So, Jennifer's Body tells the story of Jennifer Check, the hottest girl in school, played by Megan Fox, and her awkward best friend, Needy, played by Amanda... What? Seyfried? Is that what we're saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, they're an odd pair, but they've been friends since they were little. There may even be some sexual tension between the two, but Needy has a supportive boyfriend that adores her, named Chip, played by Johnny Simmons. Chip doesn't understand all the hype about Jennifer. At Jennifer's insistence, Needy is dragged to the local bar, the only bar in their little town of Devil's Kettle, Minnesota, to see a band called Low Shoulder, lead singer played by Adam Brody. When a fire mysteriously breaks out at the bar during the performance, Needy and Jennifer barely make it out while many others are trapped inside, burning to death. Miraculously, the band is unscathed as well, meeting the two girls outside and inviting the girls to join them in their van. Needy declines, but they succeed in enticing Jennifer to come with them. The next time Needy sees Jennifer, she's acting completely different. Is she sick? Did those boys do something to her? What is she hiding? When the boys at school start being brutally murdered, Needy starts putting two and two together. Jennifer definitely has something to do with it. It turns out Low Shoulder needed a virgin sacrifice in order to skyrocket their musical careers. They found their perfect victim that night at the bar, Jennifer Check. Dragging her out to the woods, they had performed their ritual and offered up Jennifer to Satan, resulting in her possession by a succubus demon. Now, it's up to Needy to stop her from hurting anyone else. Is she successful? Eventually, but not before losing her boyfriend Chip in the process. In her final battle with Jennifer, Needy is bitten by her succubus friend, leading her to gain some demonic powers of her own.
Okay.
The end.
Great. So, let's talk about this movie. So I guess I'll start with, I'm not totally clear on your relationship to this film. Did you pick it because you already are a fan, or was it a movie that you wanted to see, or what?
I have definitely seen it before, and I remembered liking it a lot. But now that I've watched it again, I'm like, I wish I could go back and like have a discussion with my 2009 self and be like, what's going on here? You know what I mean? Like, what was that about? There's a lot to unpack there, I think. I think we might have seen it together.
I definitely saw it in the theater. It could have been with you.
I don't remember.
I just remember really not liking it at the time, but then since then I have heard a lot of buzz about it as like people are reevaluating it now as like a cult classic, even though it flopped in the theater. And so I was kind of like, I was kind of a young, teenage idiot at the time. So maybe if I go and rewatch it, I'll like it a lot more. But spoiler alert. No, I still don't like
No?
it.
Okay.
No.
Well, as I'm sure you can probably imagine, I heard about it being made and it's named after a Hole song.
Yeah,
So
yeah. The whole time I
I
was
was
thinking to
pretty
myself, why did
excited.
Heather choose this? And then when I got to the final shot of the film, it starts playing Hole, and I'm like, okay.
Okay, well, obviously that's not why I like it, because that would be a pretty stupid reason to like a movie, you know? Uh, there's some pretty terrible movies that have whole songs in them. But
And
yeah,
well, and the title comes from a Hole song too, though, right?
yes, yes. Um, and I believe that
And there
whole song
is
is also.
there's also a hole in the film, right? The
You mean
like
the
vortex
whirlpool
that
thing? Yeah.
yeah, that like goes down forever, but then
Mm-hmm.
apparently it just comes out like 20 feet away. No one ever
Yeah.
figured that out.
I I don't know what that is supposed to be. I don't know.
Yeah, that was one of my discussion questions. It's like something is going on with that whirlpool. It has some kind of symbolic meaning because it doesn't really
Well,
do anything for the plot, and it's introduced like so explicitly. Like, here's the thing about this town is there's this amazing mysterious whirlpool that no
mm-hmm.
scientist has ever understood the bottom of, and then it just never it comes back at the very end because the knife that they threw in there
Mm-hmm.
is just sitting by the side of the road, and Needy picks it up, and then she goes and kills them. But it's not like she didn't already have a motive to go and kill the band that caused, everything to go wrong in her life, uh,
Right.
or a means to do that. So it's really unnecessary. So it's just a really weird choice to have that, and I am wondering like, what is it about that vortex? Like, why couldn't it be anything else? Why couldn't he have just thrown the knife off to the side and then she finds it?
I I feel like it was just an excuse to have that same knife come back. You
Yeah, but this is
know?
what I'm saying. It's like she could have just found the knife.
I know it's clunky. It doesn't make any sense. Could have been done better.
Hmm. Anyway, yeah, we were talking about why you think you liked this originally.
I mean, I think I probably liked it because it was a horror movie that was like centered around women, like
Mm-hmm.
rather than it just being like them just being props. You know, it's their story. I guess I really don't know. I really don't know. It's very visually pretty.
Mm-hmm.
This movie probably just should have been called Megan Fox is hot, very very hot, because that's really what's just going on here. It's just like a million shots of Megan Fox being super hot.
Yeah,
So,
I guess. I mean, I don't know. I feel like that's one thing the movie kind of deliberately refrains from doing is like being exploitative in the way that horror films often are, where the camera kind of leers at the female characters, and we get a lot of like tits and ass. Um,
mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. It's something that I noticed in particular because this time I watched the uh, unrated cut of the film because the Blu-ray that I bought had that, and the Blu-ray cover advertises the unrated cut, and it's got uh, what is her name again? Megan Fox. It's got Megan Fox, like, her pant leg is all up, and unrated is like etched into her leg. So it's like, yeah, like we're gonna see more of Megan Fox in this version of the film. Is what's
Mm-hmm.
definitely being advertised by that. There's stuff that they cut in order to get the R, and it was, her tits basically. And no, there's nothing that. Not only is there no nudity in either version of the film, there's barely any gore, and nothing is added
That's
in the
true.
unrated cut that would have been cut because of the MPAA. It's really just a director's cut, So the stuff that's added in is just a little bit more dialogue, a little more character stuff, slightly different shots. So they misleadingly marketed that. And I feel like they misleadingly marketed the film as a whole by presenting it more as like you're going to, get to leer at Megan Fox. But the film really isn't interested in that. That's my reading anyway. I mean, yeah, she looks beautiful, but I guess I'm agreeing with you about it being more of a film for female audiences and focused on the female characters.
Right. So I think that's why I liked it.
Yeah.
And I still like it. Like, I do. I apparently got something out of it in 2009 that I no longer do, but I still really like it. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It'll be interesting to know, like, well, what is it that you like about it now? I guess we can talk about that. What we think the strengths of it are.
I still like the quippy dialogue. There's still some, like, really ridiculous shit in here that's even more funny to me now. Like, probably the scene where they're singing 8675309 while they're stabbing her.
Okay,
was, like, pure joy to me. That probably sounds really bad. But I was hysterically laughing at that. Like, I love that. So, I don't think I thought it was that funny back then, but I do now. So maybe there's something there that I get out of it now that I didn't then. So there was that. That was definitely the highest point of the movie for me. That was like, hitting a 10. Nothing else reached that level. Mm-hmm. But I still think a lot of it's pretty funny.
I definitely think there are funny parts. Needy not knowing who Phil Collins is, and Chip responds, forget it, he's seminal, but whatever. That's a funny line. Let's see. I'm trying to find another, like, funny line there. I like when Jennifer says, you give me such a wetty. I don't know if that's anything that people say in real life, but I find
definitely not.
Yeah, it's just a humorous idea of a wetty being like the female version of a hard-on.
Right.
Right. So I think I guess one thing that we should talk about is Diablo Cody, right? She's the writer of Juno, which was a super successful movie of a few years before, maybe the previous year, I don't know. And then she did this. I don't know that she's done much since this. I really haven't followed her, but she's really has a very distinctive style of writing that's full of quips and witticisms.
And she's apparently super into Hole.
Yes. And so that's one interesting thing about the film, is that it's a horror movie written in this, like, style that seems suited more to comedy. And it's a comedy horror. But for me, the quippy dialogue on the whole, it really it falls flat. I got really annoyed with it. And maybe, I don't know, it's hard to explain, like, how comedy can fail. For me, like, there are movies where you laugh a few times, but the jokes where you're not laughing are so bad that it makes you, like, unlaugh. Like, it's like I take back that laugh, like I
Oh my god.
Like, I don't know.
That was a brutal burn.
Like, the I'm just trying to, like, express what happens as a viewer when a joke, like, completely doesn't land.
So it's
cringe is what it is.
It's like, wait, so these jokes aren't funny I had it and I lost it. It's like these jokes aren't funny, and therefore those other ones must not have been funny either, and that was a mistake to laugh at them.
No, no, I don't literally take back my laugh, but it's more. It's just
okay.
like it. It's not just. I guess what I'm saying is like, if the movie only had a few jokes and those jokes made me laugh, that's way better than a movie making me laugh a few times, but there's like 100 jokes, because
So they were
every
trying
joke
too
that
hard to be funny.
so every joke that doesn't land is like, but you can tell that it's really trying to be funny. It kind of like it hits you in your soul, like it brings you down. So yeah, so I guess
Jeez.
that's how I experience comedy. I think maybe not everyone is like that, but for me, it's like that the kind of spray and pray method of comedy
Mm.
writing, where you just throw in as many jokes as possible, which kind of
Mm-hmm.
seems like what's going on here. Like almost every line of dialogue has something that's supposed to be funny on some level,
Mm.
and mostly it's not. It really doesn't work for me.
Okay.
And a lot of the times, I feel like what's annoying about the dialogue here is that it's like there are all these references, but they're not to the level of being jokes. Like, I feel like this is the Family Guy problem of
Ugh.
joke writing, where it's like a reference is not a joke. Like, for instance, Megan Fox is annoyed that Needy is uh, dwelling on something, and she says, "MoveOn.org, Needy." So, like, instead of saying "move on, Needy," she says "MoveOn.org," because that's a website that exists. And it's like, that's the joke. It's just a random reference to a website that's totally disconnected from anything.
Yeah, that's a good point. I definitely get that too. I feel like a lot of like rap songs are like that. You know what I mean? It's like they're just
Mm,
rhyming random shit. Like that doesn't make good writing in a song. Just two
yeah.
things that rhyme. Like
Yeah, definitely a lot of
there needs
rap
to be a point.
lyrics will just like throw in a lot of references to just
Mhm.
anything.
Mhm.
Uh yeah, and it's like, I don't know. I wish that the references would be more purposeful.
Exactly.
The other problem I have with the quippy dialogue is that, um, so John Keats once said that Shakespeare had a negative capability, which allowed him to just put himself into the shoes of whatever character it was he was writing for, so that it would just sound like that character was speaking. And I think that's part of being a great screenwriter, right? Is your characters should feel like themselves. They shouldn't all just feel like little sock puppets that are, you're talking through them. And I always feel in Jennifer's Body like every character is just Diablo Cody, like they're all speak with her voice.
Mm.
Um, and
It's
so
kind of like in Aaron Sorkin films when everyone is the wittiest person on earth.
exactly. Yeah, Aaron Sorkin has the same problem. And it keeps me from believing in the characters. Like, I don't believe you're a real person. I can sort of see through. I can see the script, through the screen, almost.
Mm. Yeah, that's true.
Um, and the other problem, I guess I have a lot of problems with the dialogue. The other
Oh
problem
boy.
with trying to fit some kind of quip into every line is that sometimes it's like massively inappropriate given the dramatic situation that's going on.
Mm.
Like, you have quips at a funeral where the mom whose son has just died makes a quip about how his body looked like lasagna with teeth. And then the movie
Yeah.
like brings that line up later again because it was like so funny that it needed to be repeated. Um, and it's
Oh.
like, I just, no mother in the history of the universe has ever made a quip like that at a funeral, the funeral of her son. Like, it makes no sense. Um, so again, like, the characters and the situation are just a vehicle for a series of quips. they're not actually believable in the world of the story. Even in the, cartoonish world that we're in, it still disconnects me from it.
Yep, that checks out.
But anyway, now that I've totally dunked on Diablo Cody, I should say that I quite like Karen Kusama, the director. I think this movie has some visual style to it, and I had the weirdest coincidence happen. I told you about this already when it happened, but I just got around to watching a movie called The Invitation, which came out in 2015, and I've been meaning to watch it, so you can see how slowly how long it takes for me to get around to watching things. But because I heard about it when it came out, and I was like, ooh, I want to watch that. And so now 5 years later, I did. And then at the very end of the movie, it says directed by Karen Kusama, and I was like, holy shit, she's the same director.
That's
so
crazy.
Yeah, so it just so happens that I just saw this more recent film from her, and I think it's really good. We may do an episode on it sometime in the future, who knows. Eventually, theoretically, we'll do every film that's ever been released. So
How old do you think we're going to live to be?
Well, I mean, I'm assuming we're going to transplant our consciousnesses into computers at some point. Then at that point, every minute can be like 10 years, because processing speed is faster. So, this is the
Sounds
plan
like you
anyway.
got it all figured out.
Yeah. So anyway, I thought that was like really good. So, I wouldn't mind doing an episode on that at some point. And I think it's, really cool that there's, female directors that are working in the genre. There are a few classic horror movies with women directors. I can think of a few like American Psycho, The Babadook. But prior to this, I didn't know of any female directors who were kind of like known for working in the genre. Like horror as a genre tends to be a genre that you kind of pass through. A lot of directors get their start in it because you can do a horror movie for a very low budget, but then once they succeed, then they go on and do other things. So there aren't a lot of directors that are sort of successful at the same time that they stay in the genre, but Karen Kusama's is one of them.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
We
Other
should
stuff?
do more movies with female directors.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Yeah. We could do The Babadook. I'd love to do that one.
Oh,
We've
we
both seen
should
that.
do that one. Yeah, we did see that one together, and that one wasn't that long ago, so you should remember that.
Yeah. So let's talk about another thing.
Okay.
Let's talk about succubuses. So that's something that I feel like is a bit of wasted potential here, because I haven't seen any other movies with a succubus in it. And
I think the plural of succubuses is succubi.
Oh yeah?
The plural of succubus is succubi.
Okay.
Pretty sure.
I'm looking it up in the OED.
Of course you are.
So annoying. You're right. Unless we're in the 16th or 17th century, they did say succubuses back then.
Well, I'm pretty sure we're not.
So I'm just being old school, I guess.
Okay.
Right. So yeah, so I kind of was interested to see like what would a movie about a succubus be like. But I'm a little disappointed that it pretty much is just a vampire. Like she really could have been a vampire, and like very little would have changed.
It's true, but I guess they figured that that's overdone. They didn't want to use that vampire imagery and make like some stupid Twilight horror knockoff thing,
Yeah, but I feel like, I don't know, the movie kind of like, it hints at like going more into what a succubus is and like what, like giving Jennifer more interesting attributes. Like she says at one point, as she's like killing the guy, she's like, I need you to be hopeless. Like she wants them to be experiencing abject terror when they die. Like somehow that is what allows her to feed on them, but then that's like only mentioned that one time and it never comes up again.
There's a lot of wasted potential here when it comes to like the lore of the succubus and like what her abilities are and like you know what purpose do they serve and you know stuff like that. That aspect could have been explored more.
So do you know, so I know you're kind of into occult stuff. Do you know anything about succubi? Yeah.
A little bit. I mean, they come to you at night. I know that. They like coming through your window. And they have sex with you and steal your life force.
She does come in through Needy's window.
That's true. She does. And I think if they feel like it, they kill you.
Okay.
I that's really all I know. I know that the male version is called an incubus.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, my understanding is like incubus and succubus are both basically like sex demons. Like they're
sex demons, yeah.
Yeah, they're demons that have sex with you, and so the male one is basically like a raper demon, and the female one is like a seducer demon. She tricks you.
Course. Incubus Succubus is one of my favorite bands ever. Totally unrelated.
So I know the band Incubus. There's also a band called Incubus Succubus.
Yeah, it's a pagan band.
Oh.
It's really dope.
I wonder if the band Incubus, I wonder how much they knew about Incubus, the creature, when they made the band. Were they like, yeah, we want to be rapists. We love rape.
Oh boy.
Or
we just got canceled.
I'm guessing they were just like, oh, that sounds cool. You know, like they just probably
they probably like saw a picture in like a book and they're like, Incubus, that's dope.
Yeah.
Sex demon.
Well, people also use the word incubus sometimes as in a figurative sense as like something that you feel is like weighing you down too. So I think it has that meaning. Unless I'm crazy.
Okay.
I think that people do use it in that sense. In the sense of like, you know, because, you know, it's the same idea of like the nightmare. Like sometimes when you wake up, you kind of can't get up because you're not fully awake. Like you don't have control of your motor functions yet. And so people say that there's like a demon like lying on you and holding you down.
You're talking about the sleep paralysis demon.
Yes. I mean, that's what the original meaning of nightmare is.
Okay.
It's a demonic thing that holds you down when you're sleeping.
Right. I've seen pictures of that, and I'm so glad because I've experienced sleep paralysis twice in my life, and luckily I did not see the sleep paralysis demon. Otherwise, I would have been just catatonic. Like, ugh, they're so scary.
So, right. So I guess what's interesting to me about Jennifer being a succubus is that I kind of feel like a succubus is kind of a misogynist thing, you know? Like all of those kind of female monsters, like sirens and harpies and medusas and things like that, they kind of tend to embody the fears that male-dominated society has of women and women's agency and sexuality and things like that. So I was kind of interested in like, what is the film going to do to try to flip the script on that, you know, to make it, you know, we're going to have this fundamentally misogynistic trope, but we're going to, you know, do it in a way that is feminist instead. Do you feel like they did that?
I feel like they tried. I feel like an attempt was made. They were like, oh, we're going to have her trick these guys into thinking she's going to have sex with them, and then she's just going to kill them instead.
But isn't that what the succubus always does?
I think a succubus actually does have sex with you.
Okay, I see. So she doesn't have sex with them first.
She doesn't. Right. She uses her like feminine wiles to like manipulate them, like a commentary on like how stupid men are. You know, like if you can use your sexuality, you can convince them to do anything. Basically, it's like men are very laser focused on sex, and that's all they care about, and so we're gonna get our revenge on them by tricking them into thinking that we're gonna have sex with them, and then we're just gonna kill them instead.
Yeah, I guess that's like another lore detail that I wish was made clearer is like in a lot of scenes with Jennifer seducing these guys, it felt like she had a supernatural power to seduce them, you know, like what a vampire has, right? A vampire locks eyes with
Right.
you and then you're kind of hypnotized and you kind of have to do what it says. It seemed like that in a lot of the scenes where they would just like kind of drop what they were doing and be like, "Oh, okay." And um but they never made that explicit and it was never like yeah, so it could have just been that the movie is just thinks guys are dumb. And I think there's one scene in particular where that I really wished I knew because there's the makeout scene between Needy and Jennifer, right?
Yeah.
You mentioned in your plot summary that there may be some sexual tension between them. They do have this very sensual makeout scene, and it's like it's really the only like sexy thing in the film, and
Yeah.
it just happens in the middle of where they're fighting, and they seem to really not like each other in this scene, and then they suddenly make out, and it's very like erotic, and then they just kind of go back to fighting, and it never is mentioned again, and it's so it didn't make much sense for Needy to just go with it in that moment unless there's the supernatural power that Jennifer has over her. And if that's the case, then it's not really a sign that there really was a sexual dimension to their relationship. It's just that she's a magical being now who can seduce anyone.
I think Needy had genuine romantic feelings for Jennifer.
Okay.
And I think that that's part of how Jennifer works. She manipulates people's like attraction to her.
Okay. Well,
and it even works on Needy because Needy is into her.
Do we get signs of that elsewhere in the movie?
Well, yeah, because in one of the first scenes, you know, Needy is like, she's got like a voiceover where she's kind of narrating, and she's explaining how she and Jennifer met and how they've been friends their whole lives and whatever. And then that other girl that's sitting on the bleachers behind her says something like lesbian much or something like that. I don't remember what she says exactly, but she's basically like making fun of Needy because she and Jennifer are like, you know, looking into each other's eyes from across the gym. And I guess
I forgot about that.
People. Yeah, something's going on there. So it's hinted at in other places. I don't think Jennifer gives a fuck about her at all. But she does sense the attraction and uses it to her advantage.
So, So do you feel like that kind of story gets resolved in the end? Is there another beat to that?
Not necessarily the romantic aspect, I don't think, but I think Needy realizes that Jennifer never cared about her, and she takes back her power, basically. When she rips off the best friend necklace, that's symbolizing, like, our bond is severed and we're done here.
Right, yeah. There's that, like, slow-mo shot of the necklace, like, falling down. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to explain, like, what I feel is missing from all of that. But I definitely feel like I wish this was a movie that's about this close friendship between these characters, and we care about them, and we sort of see them being torn apart. Honestly, I wish it was Ginger Snaps. There's a movie that's pretty much like doing the same thing, but like way better, from 2000. That's about a girl, they're sisters in that, but they're also best friends, and they like they're high school girls, and one of them becomes a werewolf. So it's almost the exact same thing. But I feel like there, I really believe in the characters and their relationship, the complexities of it, and how, you know, getting older and starting to have relationships with boys and all that kind of hormones and stuff, it sort of like ends up driving them apart. And the whole werewolf thing is just kind of like a metaphor for that.
Yeah.
I feel
I
like
love ginger
here
snaps.
it's not it's not as good as that.
No.
Maybe partly because we don't get. I wish we had more of their relationship beforehand, before she gets turned into a succubus. Like, we never see a single solitary thing that Jennifer does to that would be like endearing or make us like her, or even make Needy like her. It's a mystery, I guess, other than the thing that she's hot and Needy is like into her, although she doesn't admit that. Like, or I mean, we're told that she's really popular, and so I guess Needy would want to be friends with someone popular because of social reasons. But that's another weird thing about the film, is like we never see any of their friends. They seem to not really have
Right.
any other friends.
Right.
It's just Needy's boyfriend Chip, and then like that's it. There are no other characters, which is
I
a
thought that
weird
was
thing.
weird too.
Yeah,
'Cause if
like
she's so
usually in a
popular,
high school movie.
Where's all her like lackeys? You know, like where's her mean girl squad?
Right, like you just expect that, right? Then and they would be like, "Why are you hanging out with Needy? Like she's such a
Exactly.
nerd." Like it's weird. And then near the end of the film, when Needy and Jennifer are in their like climactic confrontation, Needy says something like last year when you were socially relevant, which seems to indicate like, oh, maybe Jennifer has lost some of her friends. Maybe she used to be more popular, but it's like it's not explained.
Yeah. There are definitely a lot of pieces missing.
Yeah, I've been watching a lot of like teen comedies like for a while. I've been like catching up on the classic ones that I missed.
Like what?
Like I watched Dazed and Confused, Fast
Oh.
Times at Ridgemont High,
Oh
The
no,
Breakfast
those are
Club.
bad. Breakfast Club is good.
That's hilarious. I was actually gonna say I really did not like Breakfast Club, and I love Fast Times at Ridgemont High. I think it's amazing. So that's weird. We have
Okay.
opposite views.
Hmm.
Dazed and Confused, I feel like it's just okay.
Yeah, it's not.
But Fast Times, I mean, come on. So I guess I don't know. Having watched all of these, I'm like expecting to see more, like
Yeah.
detail about the world of
There's
high
like
school.
there's a specific formula and it wasn't followed here. And like, you know, that's okay. Like you don't have to follow the same formula, but you have to like make sense, you know? Like there's plot holes here.
Yeah, I don't. I wasn't bothered by plot holes as much as like I feel like the writing, forgetting about the dialogue, but just the writing in terms of the plotting, you know, what the things that happen, is really kind of sloppy here. Like, it really feels like when the plot wants a character to know something or do something, it just happens. Like, it just gives them that information. Whereas a normal movie like this would you would see them go through the steps to get there. So, for instance, I mean, there's a lot of movies that are like this, right? Like the one I just said, Ginger Snaps. There's a lot of movies where, oh, my friend turned into some kind of vampire or something, right? And so then you have a period where the main character isn't, you know, is aware that something weird's going on, but they don't know what it is, and eventually they need to figure out what it is. And you'd think they would do that through kind of following up leads and, you know, picking up on clues and so forth. But here, it's just at a certain point in the movie, like halfway through or 2/3 through, Jennifer just shows up in Needy's bedroom and she's like, hey, by the way, I'm a succubus and here's what happened. And she tells her the whole story and we get a flashback
Yeah.
and she just tells her all that. And it's like, there's no motivation for Jennifer to tell Needy that at this moment. I mean, if she's just telling her because she's her friend, well, then why didn't she tell her right away? Like, there's no reason other than the film has decided that Needy should have this information now.
Yep.
And
That part bothered me too.
yeah, similarly, I felt like it was lame that Needy, once she finds out she's a succubus, she's like, okay, I need to find out more information about succubi. And so she just goes to the school library and they have a book and she opens it. And the first page that she opens to says, what they are and how to defeat them and everything, just exactly as it's going to be in the movie. And she's like, okay, that's that. And so, and it's like, again, like, compare that to a lot of other movies like this. Like, I was thinking of like A Nightmare on Elm Street, where a lot of the movie is the kids figuring out what Freddy Krueger is. And it's not like Freddy Krueger halfway through the movie just like, in the dream world just says to one of the kids like, I'm this burn victim guy and I can come in your dreams and then sometimes you can pull part of me out of your dreams, bitch. It's like no, like they have to put it together piece by piece by, they have to go and find records and, oh, there was this guy who was burned. And then, the one time she's holding onto his hat right when she wakes up, and then she's still holding his hat in the real world. And they're like, oh, you can bring things out of the dream world into the real world. And then they sort of build a plan around that idea to try to get him in the end. Here it's like, yeah, it's just like, oh, there it is in the book. That's what it is.
Yep.
Let's see. So another thing I wanted to talk about was eating. I feel like there's a whole thing going on with eating in this movie. Like, the very first thing we see Needy do in the movie is just brutally assault this woman in the nut hut for suggesting that she should eat more. She says like, oh, are you just going to eat that one little bar for the whole day? And she just like kicks her teeth out. And then at the climax of the movie, the insult that kind of pushes Jennifer over the edge is when Needy refers to a time back when you didn't need laxatives to stay skinny. And then, of course, Jennifer's whole, condition is that she has to eat people. And she refers to the state where she's able to regenerate and everything as being full. So, do you feel like this movie is saying something about, like, body image or eating disorders or something like that?
I feel like it's very possible that they tried to make some kind of commentary on it, but I don't think it was executed very well, so I couldn't tell you what it is.
Yeah. I guess it would be like that line indicates that Jennifer has like an eating disorder. So maybe the issue there is it's kind of like what I've been talking about. Like, we don't get a sense of Jennifer's like interiority at all. Like how she thinks or feels or whatever.
Needy says something to her at some point about how insecure she is. And she also freaks out about that, so I think that plays into it too.
Yeah, because she has to go after Needy's boyfriend.
Right.
Because she's insecure. And I mean, there's references to that throughout, like very early on in the film, when they're going to the bar to go see the band, Needy says that when Jennifer tells her to like dress nice, what that means is she has to dress to a certain standard, but it can't be as sexy as whatever Jennifer is wearing. So she has to, not outshine her.
Right.
So that also kind of indicates it really indicates like that this is a super toxic relationship, honestly.
Oh yeah.
And like very controlling, but then I feel like I'm so frustrated. Like, we don't see anything else like that in the whole movie. Like, Jennifer's not trying to control Needy and saying like, oh, you have to dress like this, you have to go here and do that. So I don't know. I feel like it doesn't follow through on that, but that is another moment where we get a sense that she's insecure, that maybe she uses Needy to feel better about herself by contrast, because Needy, of course, is she's movie ugly, right? Like, this is another frustrating thing about the movie, right? It's one of many movies that do this, where
Right.
like you cast this amazingly beautiful actor and then like put glasses on her and she's supposed to be the ugly girl in school.
Yep. So ugly.
So then she just like stabs her and then she dies.
Well, yeah. Needy gets bit and then becomes a partial demon?
Yeah, she can like levitate.
That's
and kick
another thing
people's
that I
teeth
wish they
out.
could have explained some more. It's like, are you a succubus? Do you have to go feed on people? Like, all you got was the magic powers?
Yeah. I guess she's kind of turned into an asshole too, right? Like,
Right.
she's
Like,
really
that's
mean.
another
She's
thing.
really I keep coming
All
back
of
to
a
that lady at the
sudden-
beginning. Like, she's so mean to her.
Yeah, the nutritionist. She
Yeah, I
literally
mean,
did
she's
nothing.
just trying to help.
I was with Needy all the way up until that point because she got revenge.
Which is like 5 seconds into the movie.
Well, you know what I mean. I mean, actual timeline wise.
Okay.
Like, Needy is our protagonist. She's supposed to be the hero of this film, and everything makes sense. She goes and gets revenge, and that's awesome. But, well, I guess she got revenge afterwards. But all of a sudden she's hurting innocent people. So that's like, I don't know anymore. I don't know. You kind of lost me.
I mean, that whole thing where she partially transforms into a succubus, that's got to be part of what the film is trying to say, right? About all this stuff, female empowerment and the eating disorder stuff and the budding sexuality of young women and whatever, all this stuff. It's got to be, I don't know, that there's some kind of middle way between Needy's. But the thing is, Needy's really not a prude, right? Like, she's got this boyfriend. We see them having sex.
Right. Like, Jennifer's the virgin.
Well, they say that.
You don't think she actually was?
Well, I thought that was just what they said to the band. I mean, she's always talking
maybe
about having sex. I mean, it could
True,
be
but, like,
jokingly.
Yeah, like the band, I think it was the lead singer was like, I know her type, they're all talk, like, she's definitely a virgin, whatever.
Yeah, I don't think he's a good source of information, though. He doesn't know anything.
That's true. I guess it's kind of left up in the air as to whether or not she really was a virgin. But
Yeah. She does talk about, like, taking it up the butt and stuff.
yeah, she did. But who knows if that's her, like, trying to sound cool or something.
I guess we don't know, but my point is, like, Jennifer seems to be somebody who uses sex to get what she wants, right? That's the succubus thing. And Needy is against that. And then in the end, does she, like, is this the feminist message? Like, she learns to sort of do that, although she's not. We don't see her, using her sexuality. We just see her have, like, superpowers. So, what is the message from that? I don't know. Get superpowers.
I don't know. Get superpowers. Kick a nutritionist in the face.
Be a badass. Be strong.
Break out of prison. Not that
I
it's
don't know.
present, but
I was reading too about people like reading it as like this really prescient like a prophecy of Me Too because these guys are uh
um,
involved in show business because they're a band and they like it was really dumb. It said like they're using Jennifer's body to get ahead in show business and that's just like Harvey Weinstein or whatever.
well,
But it's like
it's
that's
based on
not
a real
really
story.
it is?
You don't know this? I told you this.
No. No.
You don't know this.
No.
Are you serious?
No. I mean, yes.
Oh. Okay. Well, her name was Elise Poller, and she was murdered in 1995.
Well, this could have been another crossover episode with your hauntings and homicide.
That podcast doesn't exist anymore. Now you're gonna have to cut this out. Their band was called Hatred. They were some stupid fucking metal band, and they killed this 15-year-old girl that they went to school with because they were convinced it was going to give them superpowers and make them famous.
Wow. That's like the whole Slender Man thing.
Basically. So, yeah, it's loosely based on that story, and it's fucking horrible. So, I don't think it was any sort of pre-Me Too thing. I think it was just a reference to this specific murder.
Yeah, and I feel like the parallel is not very strong either, because like that's not how like sexual harassment works in Hollywood. It's not something you do in order to get ahead. Like here's this actress, you have to sexually harass her or else you won't get the part. It's like, no, maybe like you have to shut up about Harvey Weinstein doing this. You know, if you know anything, you better shut up or else you won't move ahead. But it's, I don't know, like the parallel didn't make sense to me at all.
Yeah.
So overall, would you recommend this movie?
Yeah, if you just like want to have a good time and watch a silly horror movie, then yes. But if someone's like, hey, what's a great horror movie? Like, this isn't at the top of my list to recommend them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Like, if I was going to have a slumber party, I would put this movie on. But other than that, like, I don't know when I would be, like, in the mood for this film over anything else, you know?
Yeah. I guess,
it's okay.
I don't know. Yeah.
It's all right. It's kind of cute and fun.
Yeah. I guess I would not recommend it. And because I'm trying to think like who would I recommend it to? And I was thinking like if you liked Juno, but I liked Juno.
Right.
So,
I really wouldn't put those. No.
Oh, one last thing. I do think there's a scary part. So I feel like this movie has glimmers of everything, right? I feel like this movie, it wants to be scary and funny and sexy. And I feel like it's a little bit of each. And the scary part to me is like right at the beginning when Jennifer first comes back from being turned into a succubus and she's in Needy's kitchen and she gives her this creepy ass smile. Like she's just grinning, she's grimacing. That's like, they did that really well. That's like a really creepy image. I guess it's just like always creepy when somebody smiles like that. Like any kind of slow smile like that. Like, do you remember Herman Cain? This might be before your time, but
Before you're like 2 years older than me.
This would have been in the 2016 presidential election. There was this candidate for the Republican nomination, Herman Cain, and he had a election campaign ad that was just him like smiling really slowly. So he kind of started out with a neutral expression on his face, and then he just like very slowly it becomes like a full smile. And
I don't know.
it's so like unintentionally funny and creepy, and
Yikes.
so I don't know, maybe he saw this movie and he was like, that's what my campaign ad should be.
Oh boy.
But yeah, definitely, if you want to be spooked, maybe look up that 5-second thing on YouTube and skip the rest of the movie. Yeah.
Yeah. Like vomiting up the weird goo was like the goriest part of the film, I guess.
Yeah, and again, it's like, I want to know what that stuff was. Like, what the hell? What? Why did she do that one time and then it never comes back? That's another thing with eating disorder, right? Like, she's vomiting. It's like
you're right. Yeah, like binging and purging.
bulimia, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's so much matter to be worked into something interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess we should talk about what we're gonna see next time.
What are we gonna see next time?
Let's do a really outside the box movie. Let's do The Student of Prague from 1913. This is the oldest feature-length horror film that I'm aware of.
Wow. Okay.
And it's pretty interesting.
Okay, I'm into it.
So, yeah. So join us next time for The Student of Prague. Kenny out.
Is that your sign off?
That's my new
I don't know.
slogan.
Okay, we'll talk about that. Anyway.
You have to say Heather out.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just gonna say goodbye, everybody.
Someday